In celebration of Women's History Month, the North Jersey Blues Society is honoring the contributions of female artists and industry professionals. Today we have Miss Emily. Miss Emily is a soul blues artist. She's a powerhouse vocalist, songwriter, and guitarist, three-time Female Vocalist of the Year for the Maple Blues Awards, has released 5 albums, and most recently, The Medicine is a Juno-nominated release for the Blues Album of the Year. So congratulations and welcome, Miss Emily.
Thanks, Christy. Great to be here.
Thank you. So Emily, let's talk about influences. Which women in music paved the way for you, and how have they influenced your path?
So I'm really fortunate because I am Canadian, but I split my time here in New Jersey. I married a guy from New Jersey, and I've been spending a lot of time down here for over 10 years. And I grew up in a small island in Lake Ontario. And there were so many, really, like probably half a dozen, and which I think is actually a big number, full-time musician artists on the island that I grew up on. And one of them was my best friend's mom. And so firsthand, I saw, real life musicians making a living at their craft, and in a rural setting in Canada. Not easy, not a lot of opportunity. It was inspiring to me. I loved music. I knew I was going to do music for a living from the time I have my earliest memory. But I'm really fortunate because I got to watch some really incredible women as a youngster in real life, not just on TV, doing this. And so it really inspired me out of the gate, and continues to this day. My music mentor, Suzanne Pasternak, my best friend's mom, passed away in 2023. I still hear her voice in my head. She encourages me forever. When someone has that type of impact, I think, on another person's life, you just have so much. There's such a well of wisdom and encouragement there that I draw from it all the time still.
That's great. So let's talk about challenges. What challenges have you faced as a female in the music industry, and how have you overcome them?
How much time do you got, Christy? So I, early on in my career, it's a different time. I try and be gentle and generous with it. Otherwise, I get angry. And anger does not serve me at all. But I, like many young women, was taken advantage of in many different ways from a very young age. And, to this day, perhaps it's made me a smilier person when I'm in a room full of people, and I am a people pleaser. And, that's what was expected of me as a young woman. And I mean, like 11, 12, 13, gigging. And it just continued, really. And it still is kind of the same in a lot of ways. When I hit my early 20s and I went full time into this, I found it very lonely because women get, at that time, women were being weeded out quickly because of exploitation, unfair pay, unfair treatment, sexism in general. And so for those of us who kind of, elbows out, got through it, it was a pretty small group of us. And then by the time you hit your 30s, it's way smaller. And by the time you hit your 40s, it's like this microscopic, contingency of women. And especially the women like me who are moms. I was pregnant at 23. So my daughter's been on this journey the entire time. She's now going to be 21 in May. It's crazy. She's actually my date to the Junos, because I'm like, there's nobody I can thank more than her, And now things are changing, and that's what I try and focus on. There's a focus on mental health. There's a focus on, we've got some great organizations. A Canadian one is called Balancing Act. It provides support and references and information for people who are parents or caregivers, so they can be artists and have, I couldn't find childcare between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. in my bar gig days. I played 250 shows a year, and I look back and I suffered so much. My daughter suffered so much, and I think there's a chance for it to change. And I think that we're finally paying attention. And I have everything to learn from some of the young women doing, who are artists, because I think they are insisting that there be change and support. They're strong and they're loud. And I am learning so much, and I'm so inspired by these women in their 20s who are like, forget it. No, we're equal. We deserve what we deserve. It's awesome.
That's
So it's going to change and continue to grow and get better. And I'm seeing that there's more women, young women coming up. It's
that's
awesome.
great. Great. And let's talk about advice. What advice would you give your younger self starting out in the music industry?
Um, don't put up with so much crap. I have a very good attitude, and I really love people, which is mostly just served me in a good way, positively. But naive. I'm still a little naive, and though I do think, honestly, I would rather be a little naive than be pessimistic, because most people are so good and so beautiful and so kind, and so I wouldn't want to change that about my younger self, but maybe a little more edge, a little more uh, just advocating for myself. And I lived in real poverty for many years, especially when my daughter was young. And I really, there's nobody to blame for that but me. I have to look at that realistically, and I didn't have the skills, and I didn't make the time, or I feel like I had the time to get the skills. And hindsight is 2020, but yeah, I wish I could go back and just be like,
No.
you're worth more. You value yourself more, girl. Self-esteem, self-worth. But it's okay. In my 40s, it's so much better.
I hear you.
Yeah. It gets so much better.
It does.
Nobody really told me that. It's like, gosh, life is way better for me now. So, and it's only because of me, because I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin. Hence, I look like this. I've been moving all week, and I'm like, you know what? Christy knows what I look like with false eyelashes and fully made up. And the rest of the time, I kind of look like this anyways. But I'm like, I also think it's important that people see the full package.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the comments I get the most is people say, you're the same on stage as you are off stage, like in my personality. And I'm like, wouldn't it be confusing if I was? I'm not that good of an actor.
Well, Emily, I appreciate your time today. In closing, is there anything else you'd care to share with us as far as upcoming releases, projects?
Well, I'm playing more and more in the States. I'm with Black Oak Artists, and so that's been really exciting. I love New Jersey, and New Jersey was the only state I played in for the longest time. So now I'm branching out, but I'm on Instagram, the Miss Emily, or Facebook, the Miss Emily Music. And I just love people, and I'm playing shows all the time, everywhere. So I just want to see more people at shows and meet more people, really.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Emily. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Christy.
I'm sure you've read the headlines, though it's no longer front page news. And I suffer while I write this. Perhaps the best thing I can do is to mourn the loss of human life, so merciless and cruel. You took the medicine till the medicine took you. Got a letter from your brother, and I hear you have a son, and your family has suffered in this game